Okay, the first thing we do is put the plug into the comparator and we line up. You may not be able to see the lines on the screen, but we use a plug to line up on the maximum length on the face, because this part has a step on it. So we're going to line up in 0 at the front face of the part of the gauge. And then we look to see how much distance we have to mark off, because that's where we're going to be taking our measurement.
136 and a half.
So now we will move the comparator over to the proper distance. And then we rotate the gauge. That's not it. That's... Rotate the gauge to make sure we're lined up in the V. And then we're going to mark the crest of the thread in front and behind where we've lined up. So that marks the place that we're going to take one of our readings. And then we move again to the second dimension, which what we're using here is the fourth position. We're using the second and the fourth position. And we have to rotate the gauge a little bit to make sure it's lined up right. Clean the threads out to make sure we get a good reading. And then we take a mark.
No, keep. No, sure, I'll fix it away.
Okay. Now we have. Did it mark it? Okay. You see the spot now that it's marked where we can take our readings. All right. So now let's go to our amp where we have our setup. We use gauge blocks to set up and zero our amp.
Eight ounces of pressure.
We're using 8 ounces of pressure. We'll take our...
Using 44 pitch wires.
Okay.
Constant 01966.
Try to make sure we position our wire so that it's in the same groove at the distance that we checked on the comparator, because that's where we're taking our reading.
And use the far edge of the point to only catch the wire. The reading +5. Using the same wires but a different block setup, you go to the back measurement of the plug. New mark off is here at the back of the gauge. Reading 140 plus, 1/10, 40 millionths plus.